Are you ready for a mic drop on this? Do you know
Let's
where
go.
I got it needs to feel like play? Truly?
No.
From my kids, from being around kids.
Mm.
So think about, ready for this flip? I've never thought of this until you said it. Kids, right? They only care to play. They don't care about money. Adults only care about money, never care to play.
Wow.
And I have this gift of these four little humans that are helping me take away this shell of money, 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 ego, ego. What do people think? What do people think? I mean, I took my daughter. Wait, this is a great story. Do you want a quick story from?
Yeah,
It
go.
ties into what I do in the morning. So yesterday, we're getting ready. I wake up. Going out of the house is like do or die time for families with young kids because it's like the kids are playing, they're having fun. The parents are like, go, 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 go. So you've got like a wall and the kids or the parents' mission. And it's like kids are resolute and let's play. Parents are just pounding the wall.
Totally misaligned incentives.
Totally misaligned incentives, right? So my amazing wife had a kid 5.5 months ago. She's like cattle. That's how I describe it. Like she's kind of like the cattle driver. Like she's the ranger, like poking the cattle, like, come on, come on. I take the opposite approach. I'm like, hey, guys, I'm going to leave in 10 minutes. Be ready. Can you do that? Because mom doesn't think you can. She doesn't think you know how. Do you know how to do that? Can you get your food, your backpack, your jacket? You would love this. She's kind of, they're going to be late. They're going to be late. I'm like, yeah, that could happen, but let's see. They get ready. Yeah, we're late. So we're walking out to the car. My 2-year-old doesn't go to the school, but she loves to feel like the older ones to come. She has no pants on, no clothes on, and I just throw a jacket on her. and then,
And this is in winter, right?
oh yeah, it's snow. It's all snow outside. So I'm driving and I'm like, uh-oh, if we're late, because I haven't been late enough to school that you have to walk them in. Like if you're more than a couple minutes late, you have to walk them in. And I'm like, wait a minute, we might be late today. So first we use the opportunity I asked the question, what can we do so we're not late next time? I'll give 2 examples. So I stated, hey, I'm just going to say the time I'm leaving and I'm going to give you a 2-minute warning. There's my 2 examples. And then each of them had like, my sweet 4-year-old was like, I was going up to give mom a kiss and a hug goodbye. I should have done that downstairs because, she took 10 minutes to like wander up, find her mom, give her a kiss. She's just probably stopping on the way and playing. So it was a chance for us to kind of all talk about what we could do differently, grow everything else. And then as I'm pulling up to the school, I'm like, oh my gosh, if we're too late and they have the door closed, I have to walk through the school with all 3 of my oldest kids, one of whom is naked and just a jacket. So fortunately, we did not have to do that. We made it there like, 3-4 minutes late. Somebody, was coming in, took my oldest 2, dropped them off. But just for fun, I called my wife and I'm like, hey, I had to walk them through school because we were late. She was worried about being late. What's the worst that can happen? I go, it's okay. They didn't care that I was naked when I walked through. She goes, they're going to call the police. I know what happens in these situations. We're going to be questioned. This is all yesterday. Code red, like, you don't understand. You can't take a kid naked through a school.
So this is, of course, I never thought about this. And of course, if someone doesn't know you, they would be like, what the fuck, right? But I know you and it's like, oh, this is a normal day in your house.
Yeah.
But is this like a serious offense in the USA or?
Everybody's so just like scared and ready to worry. And, there have been parents who let their kid who's like 6 or 7 go walk, to the store to buy something and come home and they get the police called on them for like not being a responsible parent. And the deep thing is I appreciate those humans out there who are worried and trying to help the kid. That's their intention. The issue is I was in Cuba this last weekend. In Cuba, these kids are roaming, just learning life, playing, this fear. I mean, literally you have kids trying to hitch a ride from like the bus we were on when we were driving around the country. In America, it just doesn't exist. And I think it's the news media and social media has implanted this fear of the 1 in a billion kid that was kidnapped. And I always flip that and say, who wants to kidnap the kids? Like in 15 minutes, they're going to realize they made a mistake because they're going to be like, they won't stop asking for stuff. They're crying. They're whining. They're like, what is going on? So I think that creates this whole issue or challenge where everyone's so scared and everyone's so worried because they heard about one news story and this one issue. That's how I perceive it, including this guy walked his kid through the school naked. I did not do for the record. I just liked messing with my wife and her fear around being late that morning.
I think that there is a big difference between someone left the kid inside of the car for 12 hours or someone left the kid inside of the house for 3 days or whatever alone, or someone sent the kid to buy cigarettes and come back, or alcohol or anything with 6 years old, which is, not cool in my opinion.
Agree.
And your kid being naked and with a jacket on top and with you. Like, seriously, the government gets to tell you how to dress your kid?
And the first three you said, there is a decent probability the kid can die in all of those situations, right? Those are serious issues, and it's illegal in the US to leave a kid by themselves under, it's a state by state, but generally like 11, 12, 13, you can't leave them unattended by an adult. Some would argue it's like 11, 12. And sorry, maybe that's babysitting. Maybe it's you can leave them at 8 or 9. I need to check. My kids are too young, so I don't know this stuff. But it comes back. There's a really beautiful book by Jonathan Haidt, that The Anxious Generation. And he basically says a flip. We underprotect kids online. We overprotect kids in the physical world. We underprotect in the digital world and we overprotect in the physical world.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the government getting into in the middle and start telling you and deciding one age, another age, and this and that. Like, I think that there should be rules, right? If something happens, then you should pay the price. But then when we get into, okay, now because there was this problem, now nobody else can do X, Y, Z.
Horrible.
That is a slippery slope. That is a challenging, because who the fuck says 12, 11, 10? Like, shocking. Now we have also different rules in different states. Like, people are just making up shit based on something. And I'm sure, as always, very good intentions, even communism, very good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, get away from my kids.
And it's so fascinating because I have seen both sides. I have a family member who was dealing with mental health trouble, and the state actually took the kids away. And I was supportive, appreciative of how it operated. It's somebody in my general family. And I watched it and I was there. I was the day they showed up. And that's a powerful experience. And it's actually something that I was deeply thankful and appreciative of the way I saw it operate. And then my wife is a children's dentist. So they are the first line of defense, right? Because kids have, my teeth hurt. Well, they're the ones who might see abusive marks. They might see things that, you don't have to take your kid to the doctor, but when they're really in pain, which often starts in teeth because of our horrible diets and other reasons, they're kind of the sometimes sole outside person interacting with the kid. And it is fascinating, right? Seeing those as safeguards that I think are done, at least in the state of Indiana, relatively well. I don't know. I can't speak for the rest of the US, but that's kind of the worst case scenario that I've seen.